Hey guys, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you haven't, welcome to my channel. I'm back in front of the camera for this one because I am doing the cliche tarot readers tag. This hashtag was created by Astral Lady Tarot, and I will link her video down below. And I also want to link Martha's video over at Mystical Empowerment because it was her video that I ended up seeing first that even that introduced me to this hashtag. So yeah, I will also be linking her video as well if you would like to go and check them out. So basically this hashtag consists of some questions that help you determine whether or not you are a cliche tarot reader. So with that being said, let's get right to the questions. So the first question is, do you have multiple versions of a particular deck? I feel like my answer is going to probably be the answer for a lot of people out there. The only deck that I have multiple versions of is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So for that one, I have 3 different versions. I have the original, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and then the Radiant Rider-Waite. That is the only deck that I have multiple versions of. Question 2 is, do you have any backup decks? And I currently do not have any backup decks, but I feel like if I were to purchase any backups, it would definitely be one of the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot because this is my go-to favorite deck to use at the moment. And I feel like if anything were to happen to this deck, I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. Ooh, question 3 is a fun one. Do you have any tarot tattoos? I currently do not have any tarot related tattoos. I have been thinking about getting something. I've kind of been trying to decide if I want to get my soul card number in Roman numerals tattooed on me. I just have to make sure that I did the calculations correctly and that the soul card that I believe is my soul card is actually the right one before I go and get that number tattooed on me permanently. Question 4, do I drink tea? No, I do not drink tea. I feel like I'm one of the few people in this world that don't. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of tea. Even coffee, I'm not a huge fan of coffee. I've never been big into teas, and I have a few friends, I work with a few people who love tea and buy so many different types of teas, but I don't know, it just doesn't really do anything for me. Question number 5 is, do you have any crystals? The only crystals that I have are actually sitting right over here in this little chest. I don't do a whole lot of work with crystals. I mainly got them because I was curious about them and wanted to do more research, just general knowledge on crystals and how they work and what they can do for us. And that's still something that I will be looking deeper into because I do think that they're really beautiful and they also just go really well with my tarot setup over here. Question 6, do you have any tarot books? Why, yes, I do. So I have quite a few tarot books. I have the Tarot for Dummies book, which I love, and I think it's really, really good. I highly recommend this one. The Tarot Bible, this one is actually my most recent book purchase. I'm already a huge fan of this book as well. It's very well written, has a lot of good information in it, so another one that I recommend. Intuitive Tarot, which I also enjoy. I mainly like all of my books. And then the Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot. Now this is the one that I would recommend for people who are a bit more advanced with tarot reading. I really don't feel, in my personal opinion, that this is the best beginner's book, whereas the other books that I just showed you, I feel are definitely more on the beginner level. This is a really good book though, that's filled with a ton of information. I just feel, at least for me right now, with where I am on my tarot journey, that this book isn't one that I use very often right now, but I could totally see myself using it at some point in the future. Question 7 is, do you tarot journal? It's kind of a yes and a no answer for me with this one. I definitely don't journal all of my readings that I do, but what I do journal is if I'm working on my Biddy Tarot course, I will keep notes in this little notebook. Yeah, so I keep my notes in here, and if I want to just sit down and like work with the cards and study them a bit more, write down their meanings and things like that, I will use the Modern Witch journal book, which I think is a really handy book to have, especially if you're someone who loves to journal, because there's just so many different sections in this book where you can fill in a ton of information. You can even do some sketching in here as well. So yeah, those are the two books that I use if I feel like journaling. Question number 8, card shuffling. I am a huge fan of card shuffling. Even if I'm not using the cards for a reading and I'm literally just sitting at my desk or even on the couch and I happen to have a deck with me, I will totally just sit there and just shuffle away. If I'm listening to music, I love shuffling while listening to music. It's a very relaxing motion, and whenever I'm feeling anxious or stressed or whatever, I'll just take out my cards and shuffle, and it definitely helps relax me. Question number 9 is, do you have fairy lights? You can kind of see the ones that I have over here, and then I also have another set that is attached to my bookshelf that I actually use sometimes in some of my photos on Instagram. That one has multiple different changing colors, whereas these ones are just like the plain white lights. But I love fairy lights. I think that they are really cute. I think that they definitely bring something to a room, and that's why I put these ones over here, because I thought that they definitely added a little something to my little tarot area that I have in my room here. Question number 10 is, do you use candles? I have 2 candles in particular that I like to use. One is this cactus blossom candle from Bath and Body Works, which is kind of almost close to the end. I'm gonna have to get a new one. And then I also have this Hogwarts candle from Charmed Aroma, which is actually where I ended up getting this ring from. And I love, love, love this candle. This one's probably my favorite candle. But I also like this one because it's pink, and pink's my favorite color, so. But yeah, these are my 2 main candles that I like to light whenever I'm working with the cards, or if I'm even just sitting and shuffling, listening to music, I will light one of these candles. Question 11 is, do you use incense? I actually do not use incense. Never tried it. I know of some people who have used it. I see that it's also very popular online as well. But personally, I have never used incense, and I would be interested in giving it a try and seeing if it's something that I like. But as of right now, no, I have not. Question 12 is, do you have an altar? I would have to say that the closest thing I have to an altar would be over here. And I don't even know if that would be somewhat of an altar, but that's definitely the closest thing that I have to one. Question 13 is, do you take a deck everywhere? I actually don't take a deck with me everywhere. There has been a few times where I have taken a deck because I know that there will be people who would be interested in seeing my cards or be interested in a reading, but I don't have a deck that I always keep in my bag everywhere that I go. But if I were to take a deck with me everywhere, I would probably have to choose this one just because this is the only mini deck that I own. It is definitely pocket-sized and good for being on the go. And the very last question is probably the question that I have been the most excited to answer, is do you have any cats? And the answer is yes, I do. I have my boy here. His name's Sebastian. He is a chocolate Siamese. He's gonna be 8 years old this year. And he's like my best friend. I love this cat to death. I actually just woke him up and I felt really bad about it, but now that he's in my room, he's wide awake and looking for trouble. So yeah, there you have it. Those were all of the questions, a part of the cliche tarot reader tag. I don't know if I'd call myself a cliche tarot reader. Do I feel like I have the potential to get to that point? Yeah, absolutely. I had a lot of fun doing this tag, and I will leave the questions in the description below if you would also like to take part in it as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to stick around for a little while longer and see some of my future content to come. And yeah, I shall see you in the next one.